stupid.
EV Café News.
Oh, we're back. We're in the house. You have got, hello, welcome to the EV Café News and half an hour of sustainable transport with the media crew from the EV Rally. We're going to be talking about that a little bit. Apart from anything else, we saw Drax electric vehicles who kindly sport the news, and they were at their very best. A checkpoint in the evening.
We need to talk about that.
Oh, we need to talk about that, Saz. Lovely to see you. How are you?
I'm actually really well. I've been out in the storm way this weekend with the family, so I had to buy lots of lovely things, but I'm feeling a little bit draggled and a bit damp.
Comments on Sarah's appearance in the chat, if you wouldn't mind. Bedraggled and whatever. Yeah, rubbish. She said she came on first before we started and said, "Oh dear, I haven't done anything with my hair and I haven't got any makeup on." And we're like, "Yeah, right. Okay, you think you've got problems." Anyway,
It's all gone to pot today, but not to worry.
so we touched on the EV Rally, Sarah, you and I last week, and we were kindly joined by many of the people who tune into the news. It was stunning, wasn't it?
Oh my goodness. I did message the team just to say, it's got to be one of our best. I mean, it's every year is different. And you and I wrapped up the event at the end with a very heartfelt piece to everyone in the room, just to say, you own this now. This is your rally. We will never be able to repeat what just happened in this last 5 days. And it goes way beyond the teams. Everyone was integrating, everyone was commenting. And I love it when people who we know turn up at the checkpoints, and it's all just a bigger community than just those enrolled on it. But, you know, the checkpoints were awesome. We had an EHGV that's now in full production, whereas last year it was the only one in the world. We even visited an electric plane, which couldn't fly because it was too windy. We had a bus, we had prototype pickup vehicles. It was genuinely just displaying what's available now and what's coming down the track. And you and I, we had our usual banter, but I've watched back all the footage, John, and you were outstanding.
You haven't watched all the footage. Lies, because we recorded 10 days worth.
Yeah, no, I have. And don't forget, I stay up till midnight bloody editing half the stuff as well.
Fair point. Yeah, okay. It was good. It was really amazing. Loved every minute of it. What was your highlight?
I enjoyed Cenex in the rain. Cenex means so much to me. Having people queuing for headphones to hear the stage performance of all of our guests about why the rally matters really hit it home.
I think for me, the big box, the eActros 600 from Mercedes-Benz Trucks UK, stroking a 4-day-old electric truck that can do 650 kilometres on a single charge. Oof, blew my mind.
Baby.
It's a brand new baby. Anyway, should we crack on? Grab a cuppa and plug in to what's happening in clean transport this week. And coming up, studies reveal that electric cars last only 3 years on average compared to 12 years for gas cars. Yes, we have an American report that just needs to be called out for the rubbish that it is. I know, Jaguar Land Rover showcases recycled EV battery cells, proving a case for the second life. Shell launches a shared charging network to accelerate HGV fleet electrification. We have a look at that. And the striking divide in EV adoption rates across public sector fleets. We name and shame them. Ouch. Anyway, a couple of other things to note, Sarah. It was Women in EV this week and you were there.
No, other way around. I wished I was there.
My apologies.
No, not at all. I made a very conscious decision. There was a rail strike. You may have heard about it, and it didn't stop the room from filling up. People came from all corners of the UK to meet for what is actually a very important event acknowledging women in EV on World EV Day. And the host, Jill, hosted by Jill, is actually up for a Lifetime Achievement Award through the EVs, which again I can't attend, but massive congratulations to everybody who gave their day to mark that incredible moment in London. And I've seen some great content coming out of that, conversations that were had, true collaborations and business deals that a lot of the women did achieve whilst being there. So it's not all just hugs and smiles, it's serious business as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And talking of serious business, it was also Suicide Awareness Day during the week.
Yeah, Paul did a great
And
post, didn't he? Wonderful
Paul,
video.
brilliant post, really touched me. And it's worth mentioning again, you're never alone. Never ever think that suicide is the only way out, because it isn't. Just pick up a phone, call 116 123 Samaritans and talk to them. I've done it once in my life and they saved my life. I wouldn't have ended it, but I did need somebody. I needed to talk. I felt so alone. Please, if you know somebody who's going through a tough time, be there for them. And if you can't help, put them in touch with a first aider like me, a mental health first aider, or indeed Paul. Reach out to us or go to Samaritans 116 123. Make sure you do it, please.
Well said, John. When I watched Paul's video, if you haven't seen it, do have a look. Paul's lost 3 people to suicide, and he referenced each one of them in this really heartfelt video. But the bit that I was really struggling to type, and I didn't type at all, I did the worst thing. I didn't comment anything because I couldn't think of anything to say that made sense. But when you're in that position, even calling a number is too hard. It's one thing too many to do. And that is why what you just said and what Paul says in his video is so important, that we all keep an eye on each other and we do check in, because you may be meeting someone at that moment before they realize that calling a number is too hard, and you help them call that number and you call the number for them. That's the life-saving action that we can all do.
The other thing we can do, of course, is just to speak to somebody. So when you're out in the streets, you may be the only person that human being speaks to all day. And a friendly hello, a smile, just an acknowledgement, a nod of the head may be enough to make that person feel that they matter. So just do the simple things, everybody, if you would, because we'd like to keep you all alive, because we haven't got many viewers.
Should we do a check-in? What numbers everyone's on?
Now then, there we go. Let's have some of that. Lots of love.
Mine's very good. I'm going to put my number in the chat.
I'm currently an 11.
11?
Very, very giddy. I'm doing some great stuff in my world and really enjoying it. Sarah, you?
Yeah, I think I'm going to go for 8, I think. Yeah.
Good on you. Let us know in the chat. What are you? Are you struggling a bit? 1, 2, 3. Are you okay? 4, 5, 6, 7. Are you really good? 8, 9, 10, or even 11? Because I always go too far. Anyway, let's do the commercial clap, shall we? It's that time where we highlight innovation and new things in our industry.
A commercial clap from the EV Café.
Innovation applauded.
Right. So Europe Car is boosting its van fleet to meet a growing demand as businesses lose their appetite to lease or purchase commercial vehicles. New LCV registration shrank by 12% in the first half of this year. And so Europe Car have gone out and bought new small, short wheelbase and long wheelbase vans, including a wide range of electric short wheelbase models, and they've been added to the rental fleet. Keith Shorter, friend of our show and the webinars, and director of vans and trucks at Europe Car, said as a consequence, what we're seeing is businesses keen to access short and medium term rental to fill their fleet gaps rather than making a long-term lease or purchasing commitments. Good on you, Europe Car, keeping Britain moving. Drivers give reasons for sourcing their car through salary sacrifice, and 6,000 fleet drivers were spoken to by Tusker. And price, tax benefits and affordability on a salary sacrifice scheme were the top reason that 69% favourite number of non-EV drivers chose an EV as their next car, followed by 62% citing cheaper running costs. Fascinating. The messages are getting through. Really, really good. And the UK-based engineering specialist Equipmaker showcased a new emergency vehicle charging system at Xenex when we were there last week. Work started on the Zeppa vehicle-to-vehicle initiative a year ago, with the project led by Equipmaker and funded by the Department for Business and Trade, facilitated by the Advanced Propulsion Centre UK. Its combined expertise, along with Emergency One, the London Fire Brigade and Xenex, to develop and demonstrate an energy management system enabling fire services to migrate to fully battery electric fire trucks. And what this thing does is it enables there to be a central Bowser vehicle with electric in it that can then daisy chain out to other fire engines to keep their pumps working. So traditionally they would use diesel generators. No more. They can do it all via electric. This is proof positive that electric and water do mix. There we go. That is the commercial clap.
Hey.
Hurrah! Right, okay. This is bonkers, off the scale, nuts. And I just had to put it in as the first story. The debate between electric vehicles and their gasoline counterparts isn't just about emissions. It's about how long these rides stay on the roads. We go to America for the latest myth to hit, which claims that the average lifespan of a gas-powered car is now about 13.6 years, according to data from S&P Global Mobility. This rise in vehicle longevity is partly due to economic shifts that have been kicking around in financial crises. Many people opted to keep their trusty internal combustion engine vehicles longer. These drivers treat their vehicles as durable investments, often repairing them and squeezing every bit of mileage out possible. Rising prices for new vehicles, especially EVs, I thought they were getting cheaper, but anyway, also make people hesitant to upgrade quickly. In contrast, get this people, electric vehicles have an average ownership cycle of just 3.6 years. This isn't because EVs break down faster, it's about a fast changing market and shifting consumer habits. New models hit the streets every year with advanced features tempting owners to trade in for the latest ride. Affluent buyers attracted by brands like Tesla and BYD often drive this trend with their appetite for innovation. But this constant flurry of upgrading isn't without consequence. The environmental impact of frequent vehicle replacement, battery production, disposal, and the energy cost of manufacturing raises important questions about sustainability. The auto world must find a middle ground that balances technological progress and ecological responsibility. However, America, what about used EVs? Hello, Second Life batteries that store clean energy. You do know that the batteries aren't skipped after 3.6 years, don't you, America? Sarah, check up from the neck up time. What's happening?
I don't know, but I am enjoying your reactions, John. This is phenomenal. I've said to you so many times that part of the pleasure of a Friday morning is not checking the news script and just listening to you speak. But as you're reading, I was thinking the exact same thing. I'm one of those terrible people as well. I love leasing because it means I can just change my car pretty stress-free at the end. And at the moment, I've got a 6-week lease. So if I wanted to, 6 weeks from now, I'd have a brand new, different EV. So I don't think they've got this one quite right. I suspect some serious clickbait. And it just amuses me because most of the data that I've cited for the last 5 or 6 years has come from some very important institutions in America, where a lot of the data, because they've got large volumes, has been drawn from. So absolutely brilliant. And as an old farmer friend of mine would say, bunkum.
Bunkum indeed. And if you ever see any research from S&P Global Mobility, pinch of salt required, me would say. Right, okay. Should we do the shout-outs?
I love the shout-outs. Yes, please.
Right, okay. Let's start off with the legend that is Steve Warts from Economy Trucks. How often this guy gets up in the middle of the night. 7:04. Good work, my friend. We have James, Screenwash King. He was in second at 8:37. Barbara and Simon, it was our pleasure to see you at Cenex last week. Really fabulous. Congratulations on your 30th wedding anniversary and your trip away for 6 weeks down under, right down under, not Australia, New Zealand. Enjoy that. Ian Mayhew, he's in Southbourne. First EV Café news for me in 4 weeks. Looking forward to it to be funner. My friend, we're doing our best. Tracy Kearns, Bonadar, my friend, from soggy Cardiff. Now, Tracy, we saw you at Cenex. It was lovely to see your enthusiasm and your effervescence. Now then, a man we haven't heard from for a day or two is that man. It's Peter Heath. He's got nice teeth. Oh, yes. Ron Godfrey, just in time. Lovely to see you, Evie Bino. Graham McLaren Harris, still one of my favourite names because it just sounds so posh. Teresa Swift, looking beautiful as always, Sarah. Oh, Sarah.
Oh, thanks.
Rude. Mind you, Ron Godfrey does say JC's hair's looking good. How can you see? You can't see round the back. Anyway, Jim Blair, morning to you from Arnold Clark. Molly Prout. Molly, good morning. Don't think we've had the pleasure of you here before, but if we have, my apologies. And if we haven't, tell us where you're from. Stuart Humphrey, always good to see you, my friend, and we need a hug soon. Leo Pickford, good to see you. And Belinda Guy, she's still on that mission to start her own car brand. You keep going, girl. Who else we got in the house? Wayne Dunn. What's he done? A steady 7 this week. That's what he's done. Ian Mayhew, a strong 7. Mark Main, a lucky 7. Oh, 7's popular. This is good. Shout out to Stuart Russell and Keith Shorter for their help this week. Quite right, Keith Shorter is one of those unsung heroes. Total gem, works in Europe Car with commercial vehicles, and he is a star. Mr. DEV Chakravarti in the house. Good to see you, my friend. Barbara and Sarah, thanks, John. Absolute pleasure. Barbara and Simon, not Sarah.
I love Barbara though. So
oh, she's just so enthusiastic.
I was trying to do the
life.
celebration thing, but it wasn't working. I think I'm doing it wrong. You know, it does the fireworks and stuff.
That one?
I don't know. I'm not as cool as you, John.
No, mine's not working now.
That's for your celebration.
You've broken me. There we go. Here we go. Now we got the tricks. Okay, and finally, Peter Lever. Good morning, my friend. Thank you for joining us. Let's crack on. 10:16 on this, the 12th of September. And JLR has unveiled the UK's first ever battery cells made from recycled materials, countering the previous story that end-of-life batteries can be rebuilt into high-performance cells with far lower environmental impacts. The luxury car market maker worked with UK-based clean technology group Altilium, whose eco-cathode process was used to recover and upcycle nickel, cobalt, lithium and graphite from used EV batteries before re-engineering them into new NMC 811 multi-layer pouch cells. Tests have shown these recycled cells perform on a par with conventional ones, and they are now undergoing full validation at JLR's battery facilities. Sarah, we often talk about the repurposing, reuse and recycling of batteries, because people just still don't get it, don't see it. They're there, and if you know to look for these big containers that are battery electric storage units, they've very often got repurposed batteries in them from cars.
Yeah, cars, lots of people don't know this, and every single manufacturer is different, but cars have a different level of acceptability. It's usually somewhere between maybe 75 and 80%. And when that battery health gets to that level, that sort of battery is removed and put into these shipping containers. But whilst we can go and visit innovation sites and amazing opportunities to see the inside nuts and bolts of all of this, that's us. That's not the general public. And for me, I love this story because, like them or loathe them, that brand has been around a long time, and there is a lot of trust and belief wrapped up in what they say and what they do. That would be a good one for the chat, actually. Do you like the new Jag or not? But it's heartening, and I hope a lot of this research was done here in the UK. I hope this has a lot to do with their head office pushing forward for this to make. You know, they were right behind with the iPace is one of the forerunners in our country, with lots of people investing in the iPace when it first came out at a heinous, eye-watering price. So they've always worked hard, and I just love stories like this where it's science meets reality meets public. That's the bridge we need to gap. That's
talking of
bridge. Shut up.
But whatever it is, talking of heinous prices, the Polestar 5 I've seen this week. I don't know if anybody else has seen it. Oh my Lord above. It is a thing of beauty. And if you get the cabriolet as well, you can feel the wind in your, on your head anyway. Beautiful thing of beauty. Now then, Stuart Humphrey asks a very important question. Who's coming to Fleet and Mobility Live in October? I'll be there, Sarah will be there, Paul will be there, Sam might be there, and Johnny, he'll probably be there because he does. Be great to see you. If you are coming along, get yourselves, stick it into Google, Fleet and Mobility Live, registration, bob off, get yourself a free ticket, come and see us. We've got the EV Café Village there. Going to be good, Sarah.
I'm excited. I love Fleet and Mobility Live. It's just that lovely time of year, that back to school vibe. Autumn's kicking in up at the NEC. It's more than one day. I think it's at least 2 days. I think it is 2 days.
7th and 8th.
The thing about the EV Café Village is that when we've all done it, we've all worked for employers, and you hire a pod, you hire a little thing, and you're desperate for people to come into that little 3x3 space that you've hired. What we've done is take you out of that little space and pop you in the village. So it's sort of a come and talk, come and chat, come and collaborate, come and sit, come and watch, come and listen. And that generates this amazing buzz. And people just, as it says in the chat, hugs are free. There's all sorts of fun happening. Team Drax had some spinny wheels, some darts machine. We had PLP at the CV show gave us a wonderful lunch once before. So we try to bring that live air fun to on the day in person fun, and we so miss it. We've been really strategic this year with the events we're doing, and we're really looking forward to that one.
One of the things that's always fascinated me about events like that is how people can spend 2 or 3 days in the same show, wandering around and seeing people who fundamentally are representing their business but sit on their phones doing their work, not looking at customers, not looking at people who want information, but just looking at their phones. And that never, ever happens at the EV Café Village. We are just flat out all the time, don't stop moving. And we literally are connecting people who want to learn. It's a brilliant, brilliant experience. We go home knackered. It's great, isn't it?
It is. And actually on that, whenever I see someone on their phone, I always think, oh dear, are they not enjoying this? But more often than not, if you look, they're live on LinkedIn posting something about what they're listening to or what they've seen, or they're frantic, because we don't really have business cards anymore. They're frantically trying to reconnect all the dots that they've made prior to that session. So I really don't mind seeing people on their phones. And through you, actually, John, I've learned a lot about people and people's different approaches to live events. It can be incredibly intimidating. Some people do very out of their comfort zone, and on the EV Café Village we try to kind of make everyone feel comfortable, and you can come and just be yourself.
Absolutely. Stare them in the eyes, don't stare at your phone is my view. Mike Seymour, good morning, my friend. Where you been? What's this all about? Rocking up here.
Rain like me.
10:21. Lovely to see you. Great to have you here. Right, Shell, not a name I often use in a positive way, but Shell is joining up public, semi-public and private depot charging infrastructure into a connected network to help UK truck fleets electrify more of their fleets. The shared infrastructure model is designed to address one of the biggest challenges facing operators that want to electrify heavy goods vehicle fleets: the cost and complexity of building charging infrastructure. The network brings together Shell recharge sites, roaming partner locations, depot-based chargers and private charge points with controlled third-party access. SBRS, part of the Shell Group, is responsible for delivering the depot-based elements, including charging hardware, software integration and the energy system support. This is great. It's really good news, and sometimes the greater good is more important than perhaps the history of the organisation. Really chuffed to see this. Sarah, sharing of assets, it's so key to rolling out at pace and scale.
It is. My strategic brain is thinking about the bigger picture here. What are they planning? Have they added up the number of kilowatt hours that goes through a truck versus a passenger car and thought, that's 5 or 6 times for every one truck, that's 5 or 6 cars. It's a good investment for them, is what I'm trying to say. For years, they've fueled HGVs. Now they're fueling eHGVs. And I find that it's nailing your colours to the mast in a really positive way. Shell. There's so many bad stories about them, and I was a little disappointed. I go to my usual hub. It's got a lovely Waitrose next to it. There's 4 Shell recharge stations. Only 3 of them were working. The one I actually went to with the light on, the contactless terminal wasn't talking to the machine, so therefore it's not working. And I just worry that when an industry like this sort of moves into the shiny stuff, we neglect the normal stuff. And that upset me, seeing that neglect had been made, because I've celebrated that site so many times and it's been like that for weeks. So
let's be honest.
Bigger stuff's going to be better.
Last week, you and I charged a fair bit. So did the 50 odd vehicles that were on the EV rally. I'm not aware of anybody rocking up to chargers and just saying, I can't charge. It just works, doesn't it? We prove it every year.
I'm definitely aware of many incidents where people couldn't charge, but you know what it was? Because there's now so much choice, people vote with their wheels. They just go to a different charging site. I think, we're not as loyal anymore as consumers of electricity. We just go, is the light on? Is it working? How much is it? Okay. That's the appetite we've got for charging these days. And obviously we were sponsored by OVO, so a lot of people using the OVO card to see which chargers were on their network, which is like 55,000. But that's what I love about this. It's voting with your wheels. If it doesn't work, you will not be loyal to that brand. You will not make a beeline for that site. You will think about your next best option, and it's probably only a couple of miles away.
I've realised I'm a charging tramp. I didn't put anything into an app or plan my journey at
Never
all.
do. Yeah.
No, and I'm not brand loyal particularly. I'm kind of right. Okay, I've got a list of ones I prefer, and then you find the odd little gem.
Little
Oh.
gem. I know. Exactly that. There's a great one that's just popped up in Cheltenham High Street, and sorry, Shell, I now use theirs. So it's that's the game.
Now then, let's move on. Final story, 1024. Electric vehicle adoption rates across public sector fleets vary significantly according to new research. Freedom of information requests submitted to 7 UK city councils and TfL, Transport for London, reveal the percentage of electrified vehicles in their fleets. Delighted to be able to say that Bristol leads the way with EVs, both pure and hybrid, making up almost half of its fleet, 44.5%. Incredible stuff. Bristol Leap, really, really good stuff. Sadly, not sure. Have we got anybody in from Bristol?
Well, it's
Michael?
usually Lloyd Allen, and
Yeah.
I will always have the wonderful claim that, of course, this all began with Go Ultra Low West funding, which is central government funding. But they didn't just meet their 20% target, they've gone right over that line, and I fully salute them for it. What a fantastic leading by example yet again from the West. Whoop, whoop.
Yeah. Liverpool in second, 43.3% of their fleet are now electric. Leeds was ranked third with more than a quarter of its vehicles, followed by Manchester, 26.8%, and Glasgow being the leading Scottish authority, 25.8%. Data provided by TfL revealed that 3.2% of its fleet of HGVs and vans were electric. Now, is that a surprise? I'm not sure it is, I'm not disappointed by that. Sarah?
No, and you know as well as I do, John, that when the Freedom of Information Act request comes into you when you work for a local authority, you just know it's a massive headache. But if you're confident in your stride, and do you know what? At this stage in the game, it's about having a strategy and a clear deliverable plan and the funding to back that clear deliverable plan. I say to people all the time, it doesn't have to be today, it just has to be by then. So get cracking today, because there's many, many, many steps you can take to lead you on the way. But unfortunately, freedom of information is completely binary. It says, do you, yes or no? It's a very, very cut and dry, black and white way of looking at the evolution.
Yeah, Ross Farrell.
Awesome.
See, there you go. Even though we didn't know you were here, we still love you. Thank you so much for all you do. You're leading the way, and other local authorities should be sitting and taking note. Interesting that they just chose to do an FOI on 7 local authorities and TfL. I'd love to see the data for all of them.
Yeah.
And I know that's a massive undertaking, but surely as they are public servants, this should be routinely reported so that we can monitor the progress.
They will be routinely reported, and that's the thing. Don't forget the government bodies that were initially issued the target of 20% by 2025. They're well on the way there. That includes the MOD, that includes the ambulance, that includes everything that comes under a government agency. And so I hope the wording of the FOI, Freedom of Information, was kind of angling at the fleet vehicles and maybe the sort of staff vehicles, or at least the appetite for going EVs. It always starts at home.
Now then, it'll be really interesting to know where you are going. Oh! Breaking news. Just saying hi from the barren Wi-Fi wasteland that is a train in the southwest. There we are. Holding up Bristol as a paragon of virtue, and then pulls on a train somewhere in the southwest and can't get any signal at all. Good to have you here, my friend. Thank you for joining us. I was going to ask a question of our audience, which is, where are you going in your electric vehicle this jolly weekend? Sarah, you got plans?
Yeah, I'm going up to the Lake District. As you know, I suffered a huge bereavement, loss of my father, so we are going to pay our respects. It's his birthday, so I'll be driving my Tesla this evening, which I charged overnight at my house, which is a complete luxury, which I am now part of the at-home club.
Well done. You will be in our thoughts over the weekend, and of course we send you our best. I'm off to Marks and Spencer later. I need new vests. So there we go.
I love your little vest, and anybody that knows John will see it just poking out of the bottle.
There it is.
Brilliant.
It's a medical condition. We won't talk about it. It really doesn't matter.
But you live in
But
Scotland. That's not a medical condition that you're so cold because you live in Scotland and have to wear vests.
no, it's because I take antidepressants and I sweat like a pig.
Is that right? Oh, I didn't
Yeah.
know that.
Yeah,
makes you sweat.
it increases your sweating, which is unpleasant. But there we are. Now then, Teresa Swift's going to Oxford. She's got a dinner. Hugs to you, Sarah, quite rightly. Mike Seymour, he's going from Nottingham to Portsmouth. I can't imagine why you'd go to Portsmouth other than to see Southampton absolutely thrash them in the football, but enjoy that. Martin Sweeney's going to the airport, and Leo Pickford. We'll finish off with Leo, who sends Sarah lots of love. And hope you're well. Hope you have a good weekend. Paul says, just finally, because he's always got to have the last word. Hello, Mark. South of Bristol. Will still be in Exeter for the weekend seeing JJ. Big love to JJ, Paul's son, who's getting through his Marines tests and soon will be joining the force, we have no doubt. If you have any clean transport PR or news stories you'd like us to cover, please send them to us at hello@evcafe.org. Until next Friday, it's goodbye from me, it's goodbye from Sarah, goodbye from Paul. This has been an EV Cafe production. Other sustainability news services are available. But this is just fun! Hey! There he is.
So.
Well played, Joe. The EV Cafe is truly blessed to be partnered with the AA, Webfleet, Europe Car of Echo, Schneider Electric, Dynamon, EV Blocks, AW Energy and CPD bodies. With the EV Cafe supporting the transition to clean transport with an awful lot of support from Drax Electric Vehicles who did us proud on the EV Rally. Thank you so much for all your help. Enjoy the rest of your day and your weekend, wherever it takes you. Until next Friday, goodbye.
Goodbye. See ya.
Come on, you Saints.